Hey folks, welcome back. Last episode had to be a little bit shorter than usual because I had some stuff crop up that I had to take care of. But we're back on Jemison, ready to continue with the United Colonies faction quest. Got a little money built up. Looking to build up a bit more. So I ended up selling the Mantis when I should have kept it because I didn't realize you couldn't exactly build a ship from scratch. You had to use one that's already there. So let's see what happens. There's other free ships out there. I may end up having to buy one. I don't know. But so let's continue.
Captain, over here.
I've got that Star UI mod configured. I changed some colors around a little bit on my UI. I might have to tinker with it some more. It's a little bit dark. A little bit too dark, but I like there's no lines. Oh, I love that. Hated the lines.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Are there others from your program still out there? Other clones?
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
So you're a clone of a man. How's that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
This Ve Victus must have been an impressive commander of the UC to want to clone him.
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective, and UC. Military, and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
You're not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, it's their problem, not yours.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know. considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Any suggestions on what I should say to the cabinet?
It's hard to know exactly what might sway them. I'd just be honest about what you saw. A colony wiped out, and a lot of lives lost. Something we don't want anyone else to have to experience.
Your eyes. The red, is that the result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up, and the eyes were my parting gift.
Are you willing to tell me any more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being fleet admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
So honestly, what are the risks of us accessing this data?
Eye strain from the amount of reading I got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
I don't have any questions. Nothing more, anyway.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Hadrian made it clear that addressing this issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
We're still trying to figure out what we're facing. We can't make an informed decision without data.
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the Cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
It wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. That's pretty alarming.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
If there's a chance what happened on Tau Ceti can happen elsewhere, we need to grant that request.
I'm uncomfortable opening the archives without gathering more information. However, if that's the path forward you prefer, then so be it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
No way, dude.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
That's it! Now hit him with everything! You've got!
Got one!
Didn't even work up a sweat.
Open fire! Lights out on that one!
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
Are you suggesting Terramorphs can control someone's mind?
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph.
So does this mean I need to worry about you turning on me?
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Sounds like we
Let's
need a
do it.
hustle.
That's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Did you hear that?
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's
An
move!
evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
It's not real.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
Experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
Let's get this over with. I can handle this! Target down! Nice work, Captain!
Thought there was 3 of them. Guess that was it, huh? Okay. My ship okay? I don't care about the others.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
You held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured.
Oh, I've always liked that statue. It's beautiful, isn't it? But I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
You want to talk about that now?
Terramorphs. Holy hell.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
We're
Yes,
counting
ma'am.
on you, Captain.
Ah, there you
Don't
are.
let my people's sacrifice
I believe
be in vain.
we have some things we should discuss. Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today, as well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed. Thank you.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
I'm just some Vanguard nobody.
We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
You can count on me, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Heroes were meant to down at that spaceport. And that includes
I'm gonna
you.
go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
There are so many different groups across the settled systems, it's hard to keep up with all the work they're doing.
Howdy.
Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Where the UC keeps all their secrets on how to kill Freestar citizens. No, I better not say. They're the repositories for all the banned data from the Colony War.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
You'd think they'd be clamoring to help after a spaceport
I
attack.
couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Tell me about Radcliffe.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
I think you're underestimating how delightful I am.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, I'll wait to be pleasantly surprised. But we do have one item up our sleeve. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. maybe even convinced to work with you.
Any other things I should avoid doing inside the embassy?
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
What can you tell me about this staff member?
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
All I need for the moment.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, what about House Varun?
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Argument there. House Varun seem like nothing but a bunch of madmen.
Now hold on a moment. There's no reason to assume we're better than they are, despite their cultural beliefs.
They certainly come with a checkered past, but there's an additional wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
What kind of signs did you detect in the embassy?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
Wait, has no one actually been inside the embassy?
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
What do I do if he's dead?
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, here's hoping we're not facing a court.
It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Why Sarah disliked a couple things I had to say. Well, Alright, that'd take me a little pause.
Captain, congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Let's go for a little jog now. Nice view.
Just doesn't add up. Spaceport has anti-xenothrop.
Maybe we should stop for a moment at the memorial. You know, to pay our respects. Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
You are a visitor? You'll find the ambassador in her office. Go on through.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room. That means...
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Well...
Can I help?
Think you can go back
Sure,
to the ship then.
Whatever you need. Just stay safe.
Not that one.
Terramorphs, as in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
I'm here today on behalf of the United Colonies, but I'm a member of the Collective just like you.
Ah, so you're the one they called about. Failed to mention you were Collective-born. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right.
You heard correctly. We need access to the archives.
I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, Why don't you quit wasting my time and yours and go?
Please, Ambassador, just listen to what I had to say.
You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Thank you, Ambassador. Just hear me out.
I'm listening.
The Collective's my home. I just want what's best for it, and that's working with the UC.
Don't let yourself be taken in by their propaganda. This is a power grab, nothing more.
Innumerable lives may hang on your decision here.
Preventing more deaths is precisely what I'm trying to do by keeping the archives sealed.
I've seen twice now how bad these attacks can be. I don't want to see a third.
And if the United Colonies abuses this terramorph data, I'm not gonna just trade one threat for another. Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing. The UC is just gonna have to find another way. Now, I presume you can see yourself out.
It's gonna make me do this illegally.
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh, what? You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier.
Just doing my duty.
Doubt the Vanguard would have a lot of recruits if that were the job description. But I'll take your point. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her.
Sounds like you could be doing more, a lot more, like working with me.
You want to work with me? Why don't we talk somewhere a bit more private? So you want me to work with you? But why now? Why me?
We need help preventing more terramorph attacks, and we're not expecting the ambassador's support.
No, I think that's a pretty safe assumption. And no other city should have to go through what happened here. So then, what would you need from me?
Can you get me access to the archival code machine?
The code machine? Only the ambassador's cleared for in there. Sorry.
But then I need to get access to recorders without being seen.
Recorders? Huh. Oh, that's doable. And you and the UC will be providing me with what for my services?
I've got 1,000 credits with your name on it.
Oh, wait. I thought you were looking to hire me. Oh, I'm not taking a bribe.
I guess we just need to go bigger than 8,000 credits.
That much, huh? Okay, no, okay, yeah. Okay, so there's a utility corridor that leads to the ambassador's quarters, which you can access through the main conference room. Here, the key. Whatever you do, don't let the guards see you entering or exiting the utility section, or you're gonna be in serious hot water. I'll keep an ear out for more instructions from the UC.
Don't mind me. Just your average, normal, everyday UC Vanguard. Taking a tour of the Freestar Collective facility. Nice bathroom.
Agent detected. Patching in playback.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Cameron!
Are you alright, Ambassador?
It seems the Council of Governors has rejected my appeal to join. Again. Which means you and I are stuck in this colonial rat cage until we die. But I think we might need to. We should expedite the process.
What are you getting at, ma'am?
I mean, my requests keep being rejected because they don't want to add a seat, right? But what if? What if one opened up? The Meister's heart in what it used to be. It's not like anyone would miss him.
Eva, I think it's time to get some sleep.
Just think about it. Maybe we can reach out to some experts at that sort of thing, huh?
Good night, Eva.
I'm gonna pop a save right here. Any guards in here? Give that a minute. case. Yes, I'll scum save it. Ooh, that was close.
Guests can make themselves comfortable in the lobby.
Did I not make myself abundantly clear, Captain? You're not getting access to the archives.
Well, you'd be happy to know that I know you're planning to replace someone on the Council of Governors.
Excuse me? I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's evidence. I imagine bad things would happen if your bosses found out.
No. If the council found out, I'd lose my position. I'd be exiled. Look, I believe we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. The issue at hand is one of trust, no? So perhaps if I can trust you to keep this little secret between us, then maybe we can find a way to trust the UC with access to the archives.
You got yourself a deal.
Good. I appreciate you working with me. Just like I'm sure our great powers will. In fact, I think there's an opportunity here. Keep both our factions happy and ensure an air of legitimacy to the whole proceeding. I can only let you get the information on the Terramorphs. Anything else and people will get suspicious. And all research will need to be monitored. Freestar scientific observers making sure everything's being used for the right purposes. But those two items should be enough to allay any suspicions.
I can agree to that.
Good. Okay, let's go get you your access. They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here you go. It's not supposed to be a long process. It is for emergencies, after all.
Yeah, I suppose now I've got to go to House of Varun. How do I get out of here?
Official business? Talk to the ambassador.
I wonder what kind of, if there would have been any different dialogue choices if I was already a Freestar Ranger.
Yeah, what is it? You've got something for me?
Head
I'm
back
more
out.
than ready. Let's go.
Now she was standing there waiting. Relieved she said that stuff about Freestar, knowing I'm a Freestar native. Now I see her in a whole new light.
Exactly. It's like when someone insults you.
Make sure I got the right quest mark. Yep. Place is trashed. Look around. Apparently nobody's been in here in a long time. That's probably an exit out to another area. Creepy.
Well, this isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy. Sarah. I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way.
Let's see something. Settings. I can remember where. First person field of view is. Interface. Roles. Them field of view controls go. Don't remember. Probably scrolled right over it. I'll worry about it later. Uh-oh.
Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest.
This is creepy. Ha! That kind of made me jump a little bit. Why would there be a mannequin in a bathroom? Whoa! That's just a bathroom over here. Are those mannequins? Or were those people?
Yes?
I thought I fixed that. Figures. What are you shooting at, sir? Oh.
You have anything valuable?
If I was lower level, that would have probably been a challenge.
Well, that lock didn't last very long.
What fog has disappeared. Good shit.
Might as well take what we can.
I have been.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly?
Spaceport was in rough shape, but not much else was damaged.
Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
Correct. We're going to use the data in the archives to better understand and stop these attacks.
The preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy, with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
You don't need my assurances. Independent observers will verify it's used responsibly.
We'll do everything we can to make certain that happens.
Well, then I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
I don't know why that happens. Hitting the escape button gets rid of it, though. It's not marked in red.
And there.
You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something.
Let it be used for good.
Alright, can I get out of here by quick traveling? Oh, can't anyway because I'm carrying too much. Come here, Sarah.
What can I help you with? If you have any gear you want me to haul, I'm happy to help.
There we go.
Time to go?
I don't know if that's the product of the DLSS mod or what. I need to remove that soon anyway.
On the record? What response?
I'm told by top officials the cabinet already has a plan in place to open the armistice.
Why would it send me to that elevator? I thought that other one up top. Well, never mind. Where's...
Yes, what?
Yes?
Hey.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement.
Code pieces from House Varun and Freestar collected and ready to be deployed.
That's incredible. I wasn't sure Radcliffe would ever get on board. I'm very much looking forward to getting the debrief on how precisely you managed to pull all this off, but that'll have to wait for another time. Regardless, superlative work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Pretty amazing they're allowing a junior member of Vanguard access to this top secret deadly stuff.
Freestyle Collective's ragtag fleet, both sides decided the time had come to bring...
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules. Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin.
Oh. Guess it's the time. God, I saw that little time taking off. Oh, I guess it wasn't timed. Must have been the distance. I thought it was a little timer on it. Oops.
Hello.
There you are. Captain. Surprised to find out we're having visitors as we work.
Major Sinan and I were just discussing the merits of your planned interfactional cooperation. I think it's a great idea. Get them invested in the solution. Make it clear we've got nothing to hide.
I'm sure they'll be lovely house guests.
Now, Captain, if you wouldn't mind transferring the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing next steps.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready.
I made someone a promise, Hadrian. Can you assure me this data will be used for good?
Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right.
Plus, you don't need her word. We'll be setting up oversight alongside the collective.
Major, you may take possession of the paramorph data.
Acknowledged and accepted, Captain. So, with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Should even be able to house its own cadre of independent observers. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
Okay. Hello.
What? Oh, sorry, just Terramorph attack. I'm lucky to still be here.
You weren't even out there, dude. Did she go out the door? Yes, she did.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies?
This doesn't mean I can't be a citizen elsewhere, does it?
It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours.
I'm ready.
Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen?
You bet.
Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you, but this person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms?
I'll take it to my grave.
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
You have a nice day now.
Like warehouse.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
All governments do.
Logging authorized entry. Unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat. President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy, lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
Nope. Can't say that I do.
I'm Francois Sanon. But most know me as Victus. I was an admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes. But the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here. A sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies.
Sanan, that's Hadrian's last name.
Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family?
Yours and Hadrian's relationship is your business, not mine.
Won't even indulge an old man's curiosities. So be it. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with.
Just spit it out. What is it you want?
Gladly. There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orlaise. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the Colony War ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I I want you to track him down and deal with him. However you're able. I'm not expecting he'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know.
Why have me do this? Why not hand this over to one of the members of the recovery team?
Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps, down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout.
How do I know you're not asking me to kill an innocent man?
Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat.
How about I arrest him and turn him over to the UC?
You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it.
No, I'm not killing anyone, but if he's actually as bad as you claim, I consider bringing him to justice.
If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria, Wolf System. There is a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Alright. You know, he should probably get some sleep. I think he's been awake for a while.
Powder.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy.
Deputy, I was not prepared for that.
Surprised me too when I learned it. But the prisoner has proven useful over the years, and kept far from any major decision-making. But I do think it's worth re-emphasizing. No one else can know about this. All right?
I'll keep it to myself.
Good. Because bringing this up to the outside world would create the unfair appearance, Captain, that you're unhinged.
And that's not a good look for any of us. Now, was there something in particular you needed to discuss about what we were just discussing?
Prisoner asked me to deal with a Dr. Orlays. Figured you and I should discuss.
Dr. Reginald Orlays? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlays is completely out of the question, but bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC.
What's being offered in return?
The location of Hadrian's old research team members.
Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting?
What are the chances of I'm being lured into a trap?
Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake. But I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch.
So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed.
Didn't have anything else to discuss.
Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
All crew accounted for. We're ready to depart.
I'm not.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Okay. Well, come on, Sarah.
Hey, good to see you.
We can talk about it in my quarters, Sarah. Who's been up here leaving drugs on my floor? That's a med pack. I'll take it. Come on, Sarah. I sure wish we could summon them, or they'd follow a little closer. There she is. Come on, Sarah. What is she? You going to be talking over here? Well, okay, let's talk.
Ever since we talked about the Battle of Cassiopeia, I can't get what happened out of my mind.
I could tell it was bothering you.
Was it that obvious? I thought I could handle these memories, but until I return to Cassiopeia, I'll never be able to put this to rest.
How would traveling there put your concerns to rest?
The last time I saw my crew, their escape shuttle was headed for the planet's surface. I need to find the wreckage to ensure their memories are honored.
Oh, I'll help you.
I would like that. Actually, I need that. One problem, though. Pinpointing the crew's shuttle wreckage is going to be like trying to find a grain of salt in a sandbox. I think we need to start by locating my old campsite on Cassiopeia 1.
What eventually happened to the Dauntless?
Shortly after I evacuated, I saw the ship come apart. The UC listed it as lost, so I assume the Dauntless was completely destroyed.
You never told me where you ended up after the battle.
What's there to tell? I survived. My crew didn't. Still, I'll never forget my finger hovering over that launch button. Would I launch safely, or explode into a fireball? It turned out that my shuttle had just enough power to allow an emergency landing on the planet's surface.
It's impressive that you soft landed after an emergency jettison that close to the exosphere.
I wouldn't call what I did a soft landing, but thank you all the same.
We need to get back there to face your demons.
That's what I was hoping. But I don't know the exact location of my survival campsite. For that, we are going to have to head to Mast and see if we can get the information from my old friend, Admiral Logan.
I'm sensing tension between you and the Admiral.
Your instincts are right on target. Logan and I butted heads more than once during my time with the Navigator Corps. We've never seen eye to eye. Look, I hope this isn't asking too much. Last thing I want to do is drag you into some kind of personal crusade.
Members of Constellation stick together. Your well-being is important to me.
That's why I'm desperate for your help. Truth is, I'm scared. When I set foot on Cassiopeia, I don't know if I'll be able to handle what I find. If I begin to fall apart, I need someone I can trust to hold me together.
I got your back.
I know you will. You've always been there when I've needed your help. Why you continue to support me, I'll never understand.
Well, you know I love you, Sarah.
I don't know what to say. I've been so busy searching the stars for answers. I've overlooked what's been in front of me all this time. True love. Something I've seriously considered sharing with you for a long time. Just not ready. Not yet.
You've been critical of yourself for far too long, Sarah.
You're right. I have. Hey, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I know you have a lot to do. I really appreciate your offer to visit Cassiopeia. Hopefully, it'll bring me the closure that I've needed for far too long.
When you get a moment, can we talk?
Oh my gosh. Is he gonna get any sleep tonight?
Then instead of dreaming about me, stop by and say hello, okay?
We'll wait on that. He needs to get some sleep. Here, Sarah.
get up and get going. We've got the stars to explore.
Ah, hello.
Oh, I have both of them up there.
Ah, gonna take more than that.
What the heck? She fell all the way down. Oh my gosh. Oh, for some reason that struck me funny. I gotta pause. Okay, I think I've regained my composure now.
Yeah, the way you handle things, not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Dust off complete. Aim point reached. Orbit stable.
In one instant, the stars rearranged. We are here. Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
The UC did a hell of a job piecing this station back together after the Serpent's Crusade rolled through. Well, this station's seen better days. I wonder if the UC will ever fully restore it to its former glory.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks on the city. He said top minds were on it. Sure hope they know what they're doing.
Look who's back. You got something quick? Kinda busy at the moment.
Reginald Orlays. I heard you might know him.
Orlays. Doesn't ring a bell. Anything you can tell me about him?
I don't want to say too much. It's a sensitive mission.
Suit yourself. Well, I can tell you there's no one on the den by that name. But there has been a rumor about a ship floating out around Etheria. Never docks, doesn't respond to hails. They call it the Warlock. Maybe this Orlays of yours is the one piloting it. I can give you the coordinates to its last sighted location if you want. Just, well, you'll need to be careful. That part of Etheria's sky is an old debris field. Plenty dangerous. More than a few scrappers heading out never came back.
So what's so dangerous about that part of the orbit?
Well, the original Den Star Station was destroyed decades ago during the Serpent's Crusade by marauding House Varun zealots. Big part of the remains from those battles ended up gathering around Etheria. forming a nasty debris field. Every now and then, some headstrong scrapper comes limping back because they hit an 80-year-old mine. Or sometimes they don't come back at all.
Anything else you can tell me about the warlock?
I honestly thought it was just a story board haulers told each other to keep themselves amused. Pretty surprised to find out he has a name. Like finding out the Grim Reaper's named Mitch or something. Huh. Makes you wonder, though. Ships have been disappearing in those fields for years. Going theory on why was a combination of old ordnance and Etheria's gravity disappearing them. But maybe someone's been helping them over the ledge.
I'll take a look at those coordinates.
Sure thing. Here. This should get you pointed in the right direction. Go get your man.
I do not have EM weapons on my ship.
Got a call someone's power kept going out. Know what it was? A heat leech as long as my leg. Ugh.
Why do they tell you just random stuff like that? Well, there is a ship guy here I could probably swap out. I'll save it here in case I do have to buy some EM weapons.
All right, let's get this crate into space.
Your ship smells so much better than Dad's? Like, a lot.
You all right now, Andreja? Wait a minute, I saw something on a video. How did he do it? Now. take this ship. I guess you can't take this ship. That flashlight sucks.
Not exactly the surface of Mercury, but this certainly is hot.
I'm sure it stinks in here too. Oh, I need that stuff.
Yes, you need me?
Well, as I was carrying around 3 of those things. I'm gonna put that back on. Bet I can't color that.
It means, more than enough. As in, Korako has a superfluous amount of books.
No! I won't have more than enough until I have a superfluous amount of books.
Prepare to be scanned for contraband.
Slide.
Scan complete. You are cleared to land at New Atlantis.
Mind if we stop by the waterfall on this trip? I could use a few moments to unwind.
Authorized personnel. Your friend has to stay here.
Welcome back, Captain. Do you have some news for me regarding Dr. Olays?
I tried bringing him in, but he took his own life.
I'm not surprised. The man fled every consequence he ever faced. Of course, you don't expect me to just take you at your word, do you?
Got your oath? He's... Oh. Excuse me. Got your evidence right here. I found this. His ID.
Excellent. Please, deposit it in the transfer system.
Transfer accepted.
Would you look at that? Kept it all these years. Some simply couldn't let go of that old world. This is fine work, Captain. I can ensure the remaining team members find their way to the Red Devil's headquarters. Except for one. That one you'll need to collect yourself. His name is Kaiser. You can find him on the Freestar world of Nira, wandering the battlefield there. The area was ground zero for xeno-weapon deployments during the war, so I would arm yourself appropriately. And I think you'll want to check in with Hadrian and Dr. Walker before paying it a visit. Kaiser will likely have security protocols you'll need their help to overcome.
Security protocols. This Kaiser guy a robot?
A military Model A, yes. Specifically customized for the needs of the Xeno warfare team during the Colony War. A powerful resource, if you can recover him.
Why are you helping us with this?
I dedicated my life to the United Colonies. Every effort of my being to their protection. I even gave them my heirs. Even if my circumstances have changed, my purpose has not.
Thanks for the information.
Of course. We're protecting the galaxy, Captain. We'll need every tool at our disposal.
With the Hadrian, is Hadrian on Mars now? I went through that a long time ago. Why is that popping up now? Yep. Sometimes these menus are a little...
That was a pleasant change of scenery.
Shit's ready. It is start.
Nothing like hitting orbit.
Grav jump complete.
This is United Colonies Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. And we're done. Welcome to Mars.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Excuse me.
I doubt very much we can survive at this low of a temperature.
Was afraid you might have gotten reassigned. You've been gone so long. So how's it feel to be a citizen?
Feels good, Major.
It should. You risked life and limb to earn it.
Though I have had my own personal struggles with the United Colonies, I'm happy for you. I really am. Congratulations.
But it is real good to have you here again. We've been going through the Terramorph data and, well, we're gonna need all the help we can get. These logs, they're even more thorough than I remembered. Genetic workups, population statistics, hell, even their food chain. I'd completely forgotten, for example, that there was a creature that actually ate terramorphs. At this point, the data's given us more options to explore than we have people to work on them.
I can help with that. I found your research team.
That'd be something, wouldn't... I'm sorry, are you? You're serious? You found our research team? That's incredible. That accelerates everything. With them back, it'll let us... Wait. Kaiser. Did you find Kaiser?
He's my next stop, but I was told I'd need your help overcoming his security protocols.
That's right. You would need that. Whoever gave you these leads sure knew their stuff. Well, how? How exactly did you manage to find them?
I had some help, but we need to leave it at that.
You can't be... Oh, you are serious. Okay. No more questions. But still, getting Kaiser back, that gives us more than a few new paths forward on dealing with the terramorphs. But if he's been out there on his own all this time, you're gonna need something. Come on. We've already made a lot of progress getting this place back online. Some of the containment chambers were a bit on the unpleasant side, but the facility staff made short work of that. Yes, what? I know it's here somewhere. Here, Kaiser schematics. Actuators, weapons, batteries. That old robot's been MIA for a while, so chances are he's gonna need some repairs. He's also got a lock on his voice controls. You can give yourself authorization with the phrase, Nos belli machinis. Now, where exactly is the old machine?
Freestar territory, wandering a battlefield on a world called Nira.
A battlefield? On Nira? Oh, sheesh. No wonder no one's found him. That sector of Nira was destination #1 for xenoweapons during the war. Add to that general environmental devastation and the kind of lawlessness that comes with any Freestar world, and that planet's got more than enough ways to make a visit your last. But I think there's a place where you can start your search. Yep. One-of-a-kind salvage. Licensed to an Angelo Alonso. Goes by Gel. As good a place to start as any.
Why is Kaiser so valuable to stopping the terramorphs?
Kaiser lets us do field work with a level of precision that there's really no other way to accomplish. More than a few of the options we're looking into. Detectors to uncover the terramorph transmission method, or crafting a targeted biological agent. They require highly specific materials to test against. And asking a group of Marines to accompany us for that kind of work, well, it usually ended up with ruined samples and wounded teammates.
All right, I'm off to Nira.
And I'll make sure we're ready to put them to use as soon as you've got them.
All right, folks, we'll go ahead and call it here. Get this UC quest done in the next episode. But be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. take care of each other, and I'll see you next video.